Welcome back, students. Today we are going to discuss human reproduction topic, and this topic belong to unit 6, that is multicellularity, structure and function, animal life. Okay, so today we are going to discuss human reproduction topic, but before we start the main content, I would like to inform that the images used in our slides are for education purpose only. We respect intellectual property right of the original creator and owner of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images using this PPT, have any concern, any issue, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. In this particular video lecture, we are going to discuss these points: reproduction, human reproduction, female reproductive cycle, embryonic development in mammals up to 3 germ layer, growth, repair and aging. So, reproduction. What is this process, reproduction? Reproduction is a process of creating new individuals. Right? Reproduction, via reproduction, human are able to produce or create new individual through the combination of male and female gametes. Through the combination of male and female gametes means through the combination of sperm and ova. Right? So it ensures the continuity of any species. Reproduction is required. If continuity of species is going on continuously, then this is the key, reproduction. So, and with reproduction, it also creates some kind of genetic diversity in the progeny, okay, which is actually crucial for the adaptation and survival with the changed environment, survival of the offspring with the changed environment. So this reproduction enables the transfer of genetic material from parents to the offspring, right? Transfer of genetic material from parents to offspring. Without reproduction, human life would not persist across generation. We all know this, right? So this is the importance of reproduction. And what is the purpose? Just for continuity of life. Okay, continuity of any kind of species, reproduction is a main key. And via reproduction, genetic recombination, genetic diversity occur so that the individual, the offspring or the progeny have the ability to adapt and grow with the changed environment. So now we have cleared the importance and purpose of reproduction. So let us examine both the system belong to male and female, male reproductive system and female reproductive system. First, we are going to discuss male reproductive system. Okay, so the male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. Where? Pelvis region. Okay, this is a general structure of male reproductive system. This male reproductive system include a pair of testes. A pair of testes, these are the testes, purple, oval shape. Okay, then this testes just connected with these two ducts. Okay, and these duct is known as accessory ducts. So a pair of testes and accessory ducts, and then this brown color apple shaped structure, glands. Some glands are also associated with this male reproductive system. And the finally external genital. This is the external genital belong to male. Okay, so these are the different parts which actually participate in reproduction through male. Male are having a pair of testes. This is these purple two testes, oval shaped testes, accessory ducts. These are the ducts. Okay, these brown shaped again bean shaped structure, brown colored glands and external genital. Clear? Now one by one we will discuss all the parts. So first one is testes. These testes are actually located in the outside of our body, or we can say outside the abdominal cavity, in a pouch, and that pouch is known as, what is the term for that pouch? Scrotum. Why it is located outside the body? Because in this scrotum, a lower temperature, 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade lower temperature is maintained, lower than our body temperature. This 2 to 2.5 degree uh, lower temperature is maintained in this scrotum. Why? Why there is a necessity? This 2 degree temperature, lower temperature means our body temperature is 37, right? So that is required for good quality spermatogenesis. If temperature is high, sperms will not generate it. So that's why these testes are present in the scrotum and just outside our body. Why? Because this scrotum maintain a temperature 2 to 2.5 degree lower than the our body temperature, which is essential for spermatogenesis. Clear? Now, in each adult testes, it is a oval shape. Just now we have seen the diagram, and this is the length, 4 to 5 centimeter long and 2 to 3 centimeter width. This testis is covered by a dense layer, and each testis contains approximately 250 compartments, which is called testicular lobules. Each contain approximately 250 compartments called testicular lobules. Now, this each lobule, this is the cross section of testes. Okay, so this each lobule contain 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. These are the seminiferous tubules. These are the seminiferous tubules. This. These are highly coiled seminiferous tubules, and in this seminiferous tubules, actually sperms are produced. So spermatogenesis occur in seminiferous tubules. Clear? Now, about lining, this seminiferous tubules having two type of cell. Okay, first type of cell is known as male germ cell, which is mainly involved in spermatogenesis, or we can use the term spermatogonia for male germ cells. And second type of cells which are present over here in seminiferous tubules, these are Sertoli cells, which actually provide nourishment to the sperm. Okay, so both the type of cells are present in these coiled area. Clear? Now, the male germ cells undergo meiosis, because these are gametes, these are able to produce gametes. So meiosis is required. So these germ cells undergo meiosis to form sperm. Haploid number of chromosomes must be there, right? And this Sertoli cells, as just now I told you, this provide nutrition to these germ cells. Okay, so this is the cross section of testes. These are the seminiferous tubules. Okay, these are the walls with which they all type of seminiferous tubules get separate out. This is known as septa or tunica albuginea. Okay, the outer layer is known as tunica. This is tunica albuginea. Okay, this is further connected with the certain duct-like structure. This duct is known as reta testi. These are the ducts from where this all type of seminiferous tubules get connected. This further connected with the other duct, which is known as efferent ducts, and which further connect with this epididymis. This structure is known as epididymis. Okay, this is the tail of epididymis. Okay, so this is the overall structure. Okay, each lobule contain 2 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules contain two type of cell. First type of cell, germ cell. Another type of cell, Sertoli cell. Germ cell undergo meiosis to produce sperm. Sertoli cells provide nutrition for the same. And finally, via retatectis and via epididymis, it connect with the other accessory part. Clear? Now, interstitial space is also present in between these seminiferous tubules. Okay, so this is the located just outside the seminiferous tubules, and this interstitial space contains small blood vessels and Leydig cells. Okay, what is the importance of this Leydig cells? This is very important. Why? Because these cells are mainly involved to synthesis of a very important male hormone, that is androgen. Okay, testicular hormone. So these Leydig cells are involved in the synthesis of androgen hormone, and other immunological competent cells are also present in this interstitial space. Now, so this is all about the testes. Now, accessory ducts. Okay, so accessory ducts contains, this is testis, we have discussed, cross section, seminiferous tubules. Now, accessory ducts, which is further seminiferous tubules connected with that duct, that is retatestes. In last picture, I told you the location. Okay, these are the, okay, and then this retatestes further connected with this vasa efferentia. These are the vasa efferentia. Okay, and then these small vasa efferentia further connect with this epididymis. Okay, so these are the ducts: retatestes, vasa efferentia, and then epididymis. Okay, and after epididymis, it will connect with the vasa deferens. It will connect with the vasa deferens. This is the vasa deferens. Okay, this is epididymis and this is the vasa deferens. And then, so these are the ducts which involve in the movement of sperm generated in seminiferous tubules, and these are the path which is followed by the sperm. So what is the pathway of sperm? Seminiferous tubule open into this area, vasa efferentia via retatestes, correct? And then this vasa efferentia exit the testes and connect with the epididymis. Clear? And then this epididymis lead to the vasa deferens, which ascend and loop over the urinary bladder. Then vasa deferens join a duct from a seminal vesicle and open into the urethra as ejaculatory duct. So this is the path which is followed by the sperm. Okay, this urethra is actually originated from the urinary bladder, which extend through the penis to the external opening called urethral meatus. These ducts store and transport sperm from the testes to the outside of the body. This penis is known as male external genital organ, which actually facilitate insemination, and it is made up of a special type of tissue which help in erection. Glans penis, the enlarged end is known as glans penis, and this enlarged end is covered by a foreskin. Okay, this is the structure. Now, male accessory gland include a pair of seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle. This is the seminal vesicle. Okay, then this leaf-like structure known as second duct, prostate gland, and a paired bulbourethral gland. Third, so prostate gland, paired seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and a paired bulbourethral gland. These are the glands present in the male reproductive system. So these glands are mainly involved for the secretion of seminal plasma, which is rich in fructose, rich in calcium and certain enzyme. Okay, what is the use of these glands? These are help to produce certain kind of secretions which are rich in fructose, calcium and enzyme. This third one, tiny structure or tiny button like structure, this particular glands secretion help in penis lubrication. So lubrication is generated by bulbourethral gland. So this is all about the male reproductive parts. Now let's discuss female reproductive system. This is the general structure of female reproductive system. It consists of a pair of ovary. These are the ovary. Okay. This is the ovary duct, which is also known as fallopian tube. And then ovary duct or fallopian tube. So this is the first part. This is the second part. Third part, uterus. This is the uterus, which open into the cervix. Fourth part. And then cervix open into the vagina, which is known as external genital of female, and it is also present in the pelvic region. Female reproductive system also integrated with the mammary gland, which actually support ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, birth and child care. Fertilization, pregnancy, birth and child care. Okay, so this female reproductive system is integrated with the mammary gland. Okay, now one by one we will discuss each part of female reproductive system. First one is ovary. Ovary is known as primary female sex organ because it will produce ova and steroid hormone. Mainly it will produce ova, and along with ova it will produce steroid hormone. Okay, these ovaries are located on the each side of lower abdomen in the female body, and about length 2 to 4 centimeter ovary length, and these ovary are connected with the pelvic wall via some ligaments, with the pelvic wall and uterus via some ligaments. Ovaries are covered with the thin epithelium enclosing the ovarian stroma. This stroma is further divided into the two zone. Peripheral region is known as obviously cortex and inner region is known as medulla. Now, after primary reproductive organ, let's discuss, this is the ovary. Let's discuss different ducts which are present or which are associated in female reproductive system. First one is the fallopian tube or oviduct. Oviduct. So this is the oviduct. Okay, and then followed by the uterus and then vagina. So this fallopian tube are approximately, these fallopian tubes, these are also 2 in number. Okay, each associated with corresponding ovary. What is the length of fallopian tube? 10 to 12 centimeter, which extend from this ovary side and towards the uterus. It will start from the ovary side. This is the ovary side and extend towards this end. Okay, so this whole region from here to this is known as fallopian tube. Clear? Now, near the ovary, the fallopian tube form a funnel-like structure. This is a funnel-like structure. Okay, this is a funnel-like structure, and this funnel-like structure is known as infundibulum. This funnel-like structure is known as infundibulum. Okay, and this infundibulum on its end, which actually connected with the ovary, it is having some, finger like projections, okay, which is known as fimbriae. So fimbriae, this whole part is known as infundibulum, okay, and this terminal edges is known as fimbriae. This fimbriae is actually, what is the use of this fimbriae? Why we are going to discuss this fimbriae? Because this fimbriae are mainly involved to collect ova after ovulation. Ova post ovulated, a collection of ova occur via this fimbriae. Okay, and this funnel like structure, this infundibulum, lead to a wild ampulla like structure, which further narrow down as we move on narrow, and this narrow passage is known as isthmus. Narrow isthmus, which further connect with the with the uterus. This narrow passage is known as isthmus. This is isthmus, which further connect with the uterus. Okay, so primary sex organ present in the female, ovary. Okay, this ovary is connected with the oviduct or fallopian tube. There are several parts of fallopian tube. Initial part is funnel like structure, infundibulum. This infundibulum is having certain, finger like structure known as fimbriae, which actually help to collect ovum post ovulation. As we move towards the uterus side, this whole duct get narrow down. Okay, and this narrow passage is known as isthmus, which further connect this fallopian tube with the uterus. Clear? Now, next part is uterus. This is uterus. Okay, uterus is also known as womb. On this uterus, it is a single organ. This is not paired one. Okay, and what is the shape? It just look like a inverted pear shape. Okay, this uterus is supported by the ligament attached with the pelvic wall. Uterus further open into the vagina through this cervix. Okay, so uterus open into the vagina through a narrow passage which is known as cervix. Now this cavity of cervix is called cervical canal along with the vagina. So this total region is known as birth canal. Birth canal. So birth canal include vagina and cervix. Clear? Now the wall of uterus. This is uterus. Okay. So three type of tissues are present on the wall of uterus. The outer membrane or tissue layer is known as perimetrium, which is external one and thin layer. Then myometrium. This is comparatively thick and it is made up of smooth muscle. And the inner layer, this yellow one, this is known as endometrium. Okay. This myometrium is actually having smooth muscles. So this particular layer, middle layer, help in to create a strong contraction during delivery of baby. While this endometrium, which is the innermost layer, this is the inner layer. Innermost layer is known as endometrium. This inner glandular layer lining the uterus cavity, and this endometrium undergo cyclic changes during menstruation cycle. This endometrium is shed down during the menstruation cycle in female. Okay, so uterus has three different layers. First, perimetrium, thin membranous layer, then muscular layer, comparatively thick layer which is made up of a smooth muscle known as myometrium, which help in to create strong contractions during childbirth. And third layer is endometrium, which is the innermost layer, and it is a glandular in nature. It uh, Endometrium undergoes cyclic changes during menstruation cycle. Now, female external genital, a cushion of fatty tissue is present on the female external genital is known as mons pubis, and it is covered by skin and pubic hairs. Then there is a fleshy folds are present, which is known as labia majora. These are the fleshy fold of tissue which extend from the mons pubis and surrounding the vaginal opening. Just inside the labia majora, there is another layer which is known as labia minora. This is again paired fold of tissue present just beneath the labia majora. After this, hymen is present, which is a membrane which partially covered the vaginal opening. And then there is a tiny finger-like structure known as clitoris. It is present at the upper junction of labia minora above the urethral opening. This hymen can be torn during the first intercourse, but can also be torn out during certain activities like sudden fall, temple insertion, cycling, sports, horse riding, and so on. So some women may retain hymen even after intercourse. This is also a possibility. So the presence of hymen or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity of any female. Mammary gland, which is also associated with female reproductive system. Mammary glands are found in all female mammals, and these are also paired one, and structure is known as breast. Each breast contains some glandular tissue and different amount of fat. This glandular tissue each breast contain 15 to 20 mammary lobes, mammary glands or mammary lobules. These are the lobules. Okay. So within these lobes, there are cluster of cells. Within these lobes, there are certain cluster of cells known as alveoli, which actually secrete milk and which store milk in their cavities, and via mammary duct, it eventually lead to wider ampulla side and connect with the lactiferous duct for milk excretion. Now, so this is all about the female reproductive parts. Now let's discuss gametogenesis. So as you can see, this just understand this animation. This is ova and this is sperm. So what is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is a process by which primary sex organ, means sperm from male side and ova from the female side, both produce their respective gametes. So gametogenesis is a process by which primary sex organ produce gametes. Okay, in males, this is the primary sex organ, testes. So testes will produce sperm, while in female, primary sex organ is ovary. Ovary will produce ova. Okay, so gametogenesis means production of gametes. So in this particular case, human reproduction, production of sperm and ova. Production of sperm via testes and ova via ovaries. So spermatogenesis in testes. Spermatogenesis is actually begin at the age of 13-14, puberty stage, where spermatogonia is able to produce sperms. Spermatogonia present in the seminiferous tubule wall, and it is multiplied by mitosis, and each spermatogonia contain 46 chromosomes. Some spermatogonia convert into the primary spermatocyte, which undergo meiosis division, haploid division, and form two haploid secondary spermatocytes. So, haploid number of chromosomes are present in secondary spermatocyte, means 23 chromosomes in each. Primary spermatocytes are diploid in number. Primary spermatocytes after meiosis develop secondary spermatocyte, and these are haploid in number. This is the picture. These are the seminiferous tubules in which spermatogonia are present. Okay, these are the lumen, and this is the zoom picture. So these big cell is known as spermatogonia. Okay, spermatogonia after mitosis, some spermatogonia convert into the primary spermatocyte, and primary spermatocyte after meiosis division, meiosis 1, meiosis 2, it will convert into the spermatids, and finally this spermatids will generate mature sperm, which are haploid in number. So spermatogonia, diploid number, primary, diploid. Here secondary spermatocyte, haploid. Clear? So these are the spermatogonia. These some cells. This is Sertoli cells. These Sertoli cells provide nourishment to these developed sperm. So this is the sperm head, and this pointed structure brown is this is known as acrosome. This is the tail region, and this is the neck region. This neck region contains so many mitochondria which provide nourishment, which provide energy for the movement of tail. Okay, so secondary spermatocyte undergo second meiotic division to produce 4 haploid spermatid. So 4 haploid spermatids generated via secondary spermatocytes. Further, these spermatids transfer into spermatozoa, or we can say sperm, through spermiogenesis. So development of sperm is known as spermiogenesis. Okay. Mature sperm head embedded in the Sertoli cell, as we discussed just now, for the nourishment, and these Sertoli cells are also present in the seminiferous tubule, right? So this is all about the today's lecture, which is related to male reproductive system and female reproductive system, and in last we have discussed about gametogenesis. Okay, so I hope most of the things has been cleared now. Still you have any questions related to today's video lecture, please let me know. We will discuss it later on. Till then, take care, bye bye, and keep learning. Namaskar.